Hi, Lee family. This is Thomas Williams at Athens Chevrolet. Thank you so much for purchasing this Suburban from us and from Rob and myself. Just wanted to show you how a few things worked on it, some of the things that people get tied up on sometimes. So first thing I want to do is show you how you put gas in it. I know this sounds really simple, but that's a phone call you get sometimes if you don't go over it. You just push the door here, it pops right open, and then you just put the nozzle straight in there. It's capless. Then you just push it shut the same way. Next thing I want to show you is how to remote start it. So to remote start it, you just make sure that the vehicle is locked with your key fob. And then press this button twice. That's your start button. And it starts right up. Now another feature on the outside here is it does have passive entry. If the vehicle is locked and you have the key anywhere on your person, in your pocket, in a bag, anything like that, you just walk up and touch the silver button and that unlocks it. And then you can get inside. Also, within your key fob, if you press this little switch right here, that pulls out an actual regular key that you can use to unlock the lock cylinder there in case your battery's dead and you can't get into it through normal means. We'll jump in here. I'll show you some of the stuff on the inside. When you remote start it, you'll want to push your start button and get in. And that starts up all the systems and kind of dials the air conditioning back down to normal. When you remote start it, it's either going to warm it up or cool it off, depending on what time of year it is. So, of course, this is your center stack here in front of you. A couple things I want to go over with you. I'm going to kind of start on the left and work my way right here. Of course, this is power windows, power door locks, everything like that. This is your memory seating. So to set it, you'll just hit set and then the number. Of course, assuming your seat's where you want it to be. And then it's going to beep, and that should be all you have to do. You can go into the owner's manual as well. It's in your glove box, and that'll give you a little bit more thorough directions on it, and then how to set your exit seating position also. But it's pretty easy to figure out there. Of course, these are your power windows. These are your locks for your rear windows, lock out rear occupants so they can't take the windows down. Power mirror controls there. We know what door locks are. Now over here, this is your parking brake. It's electronic on this one. You'll just push this button and that sets your brake. To take it off, you put your foot on your regular brake and then push the button and that takes it off. That deactivates it. This is hill descent control. This is for if you're ever off-road in it, or maybe in ice or something like that. You can set that to where it will control your speed going down a grade, like if you're in mud or ice or even a steep gravel road if you go up in the mountains or something like that. That's your traction control underneath that. The only time you really want to cut that off is if you need to spin your tires. It'll automatically disengage if you have it in four-wheel low. That deactivates your StabiliTrak and your traction control because you're off-road and you're going really slow and you may need to spin your tires going off-road. This is your parking sensors. The only time you really need to cut that off is if you're towing a trailer or something like that and you don't want them to beep at you. This cuts on the power plug-in to the power inverter in the back. You can plug in like a normal tool or a small appliance or something like that off the household outlet that's in the back. It's like an actual power inverter. This is just a card holder for a gas card. If you guys have a gas card you use in your family that everybody uses, you can leave it in there, that type of stuff. Four-wheel drive controls, two-wheel highs, which you probably want to stay in most of the time. Auto is like all-wheel drive, for high, and then for low. And then this is just the different modes of the vehicle, like towing and stuff like that. Over here, this is your lighting for your instruments. This brightens it and dims it. And then this is your headlight control. Probably want to always leave it set on auto. That way when it gets dark, your lights will automatically cut on. Over here on your steering wheel, this is all your wiper controls over here. You just kind of do what they say on it there. It's kind of hard to explain without being here, but just kind of look at what the button position says, and you can kind of use it from there. This is your cruise control, of course, set, or this is your own set, reset, and cut it off. This is your following distance indicator. If you see on that screen when I press it, it shows the gap adjustment. So that sets the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you for the detection. So when you're driving along, you're going to see a green car flash up on your screen there next to where it says 3 miles. That just lets you know that it detects a car in front of you. If it turns yellow, that means you're getting a little bit too close to it, and that's why you may want to reduce the gap. If you're somebody that usually drives closer to the car in front of you, you may want to set the gap a little bit lower so you're not seeing that yellow car there. And then, of course, if you approach the vehicle too fast, like the car stops, turning, something like that, that car, the little yellow car or green car, is going to turn red. It's going to flash red on your windshield through that light right there. And it's going to beep at you to let you know that a crash is imminent because there's a car stopped in front of you. You do have automatic braking on this, so it is going to apply brakes and try to get you stopped. But that's really what we can say what it's going to do. It's going to try to stop you. We can't guarantee that it's going to bring you to a complete stop. Of course, the best way to prevent an accident is to pay attention. But of course, that doesn't always happen. Over here on this side, this is your controls for the screen between your gauges. So if you notice there, as I roll this wheel, as I select over and roll the wheel, it changes different selections there on the screen. This is for your Bluetooth. This is to call somebody or to answer a phone call. And then this is to hang up on the phone call. You've got 2 buttons on the back here. That's your volume control for your radio. And then on this side, this should be your presets for your radio. This is your shifter on them now. We don't have column shifts anymore. It's all push button. Just put your foot on the brake, hit what gear you want to go in. You pull back on these and push down on these 2. And then, of course, this is if you need to put it in a lower gear, like if you're on an incline or something like that. All right, now let's go up here to the top. So this is your home link. You can pair up a garage door opener with this, to where you don't have to actually carry the opener with you. You can program this to emit the same signal as your garage door or gate opener. This is your lighting controls for when the doors are open. This is for your rear hatch. If you push the button in, it opens it, and then max and 3/4 and off is different positions or whether you don't want it to open with power. And then these are your positions for your sunroof. Of course, we know what tilt is. This opens the shade up, and then this slides the roof open. This is your OnStar button. It's very important that you push that button and start your OnStar trial and introduce yourself. They're going to know who you are, of course, but they will introduce themselves, actually. Sorry, I misphrased that there. But your OnStar call is very important. That's how you set up your Wi-Fi network for your car, for your hotspot in here. Also, they're going to go over some of the features with OnStar, like automatic crash response, emergency, different items like that. On down here on this screen, works very simply, works just like the apps on a smartphone. So you see audio, phone, nav, Wi-Fi hotspot users, so on. And then you've got more on this screen. Audio is just radio, AM, FM, auxiliary, whatever you're using for your audio. Phone, of course, is phone. Nav is your factory navigation. Wi-Fi hotspots, where you're going to access your network through OnStar. Users, your vehicle can have different user profiles that go with either key there, if more than one of you are driving it. Settings is pretty self-explanatory. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you have your phone paired to the Bluetooth, you can use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can project maps from that screen onto this screen if you don't like the factory navigation, or if you're just more comfortable using the navigation that's on your phone. Trailering app allows you to test the lights on a trailer. Apps is basically a way to change your apps around on here or add additional apps. OnStar service is just like pressing the blue button up top that I just showed you. Climate's your climate control. You've got redundant controls, hard controls down here for that. Camera just accesses your camera views while you're not in reverse. So if you wanted to see what was behind you, you don't have to put it in reverse to do that. My Chevrolet is the My Chevrolet app, and then SiriusXM is just a quick link to that. Now your rear media. This is how you cut on the screens in the back. You just hit the power button here. Oops. And that allows you to put devices on the screens in the back. You can use HDMI cable. You can use Mirrorcast if you're trying to use Bluetooth. That works best with Android devices. Usually with Apple devices, it's better to plug them in the HDMI. But that's options on that. Also, from the back screens, you can actually send navigation up here. So if you're driving somebody around and they want to tell you where to go, they can actually input their nav coordinates into the screen back there and take you, and it'll reflect onto this screen through your factory navigation. Down here, these are all just redundant buttons for everything you can access with the screen. This is power and volume. Seek, home button takes you back to anywhere you want to be, or where you want to be on this. So if you ever get tied up in a menu or anything like that, you can press either this picture of the house or this picture of the house, and that takes you back to this screen. And sometimes when you're in some of the settings menus, you kind of can't figure out how to get back where you came from. So you can just hit the house and it brings you right back. And then back button takes you to the previous screen. This is tuner over here, and you also use that to access when you're in a menu to access different options. Hit the check mark to accept. Down here on your climate controls, low is as cold as it'll go, and then you've got different temperature settings from there. And when you get to high, that's as hot as it'll go. If it's set on auto, it's going to get to that temperature and then shut itself off, just like a thermostat in a house. If it's on low, it's just going to keep blowing cold. Heated seat controls here. Of course, wherever you want the fans to blow, you adjust it there. You can turn the rear climate control completely off, and then to adjust it, you can hit that. And it brings it up to this screen to where you can change the rear climate more easy. Got both USBs here for charging, and a regular charger there. Center stack here. Over here, this is a sunglass holder. We get this question lots. What's this weird little bin for there? That's a sunglass holder. I'm going to hop in the back real quick to show you what those screens look like. Let me cut them on here first. Rear media. Power. So now we've got our rear screens on. Helps if I unlock the door. Alright, so these are what your rear screen controls look like. So these are your different inputs. Your different inputs there, and then navigates how you'd pull up the navigation to control the front there. May take it a second to load up here. And that's the same as your nav on the screen in the front. Down here in the middle, these are your different inputs, and then of course your climate control back here so rear occupants can adjust the climate. And then I'm going to leave this box right here where it's at for you. That's for your headphones. You've got headphones in there with batteries. Just put them in and you're ready to go. And they'll be paired up to these. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'm going to leave my card in the glove box. It has my cell on it, 678-780-8764. Pretty good with the technical questions. So feel free to give me a call anytime you get stumped on anything. And thank y'all again for buying from us. Thank you.